Hello, dear citizen. Would like to talk about our Lord and Savior, Arthur Pendragon, that is going to save Avalon? Okay. I tried at least.
For your love's gold moon, or in his old
Hello everyone, Fenris here, and today we'll be talking about the Tainted Grail Fall of Avalon, the game that most of you, or all of you, I hope, heard, because the game was recently released over a week ago of recording this video, and I received the game from the developers, and I would like to talk about it because it's a very interesting game that I just finished, my first playthrough, let's call it, and I really enjoy it. But before that, let's talk about, this is a thing that will be happening a lot in this game. So, junk. I would call it a wooden junk. But let's go with the story at the beginning. The story of Avalon, Fall of Avalon, is about land named Avalon, where the King Arthur defeated its native creatures, you can call it like a spirits, forge dwellers, and for 600 years there was a peace. Of course, everything that you hear is based on Arthurian legends, so it's very familiar, something that Witcher books is also very based on. If you don't know, the Witcher books are based on more Arthurian legends than the Polish folklore. So, this King Arthur, of course, died because he was not immortal, and in those 600 years, not good things were happening, of course, to the land. And right now, he is coming back. But how he is coming back, that's a plot, that's the story, because the part of his soul is trapped within us. Maybe not trapped, it's more like given to us. And we can talk with King Arthur from time to time about the stuff, and we need to go through this land of Avalon and find rest of his soul and help him to reclaim the throne and make Avalon great again. Make Avalon great again. And this is like a basic premise of the story. And I think it's enough because the story of the game is one of its strongest things. But let's go back a bit because Tainted Grail Fall of Avalon is not entirely something new. A few years ago, there was a Kickstarter to make a tabletop game with this world. A tabletop game was a success, and then they made the Conquest of Avalon game. That was a card game for PC, Steam, and so on. And for the last 3 years, they were working on this game with an early access and with a full release right now for Steam, as I said, from early access. And the game, to summarize it, like the best way to summarize it, it's Bethesda. It's a Bethesda junk game, a bit, let's call it, but it has a lot of charm. It stands divided between an indie game and a double-A game, I would say, because it really wants to do a lot of things. Not all of those things are working, but what is working for sure is the fact that game has a lot of love with it. And you can feel it with some really crazy stuff like I just did to those deers and this damn wolves. Game overall, as I said, is very story rich, but is also based on games like Oblivion, especially the remaster recently. So it's funny that those games have been released so close together. But let's go with RPG elements. Right now we are playing my first character because I'm playing on a second playthrough right now. The first character that I made, I made it like a holy knight, let's call it, but it was just a knight, so it's based on strength. I'm two-handed weapons, heavy armor, but in terms of how game's progression is going, we have things like attributes. So every time you level up, you get attributes. They are strength, endurance, dexterity, spirituality, practicality, and perception. All of them have some effects on combat and on overall gameplay because they are attributes checks sometimes in the dialogues, but it's like a rare thing. But some things can increase your crafting and increase the stamina regeneration and so on. We have the status also, and each of those stats like strength and so on has skills, let's call them, and those stuff work exactly the same like in Skyrim, Oblivion, Morrowind. So more you do 200, stronger the 200 will be, yes. More you do archery, stronger the archery will be, yeah. There are agility, sneak, thief, cooking, handcrafting, and so on. So quite simple. And each time those level up, you also get experience to your barn. So it's very interlinked. But also with each level up, you're getting the skill trees. And the skill trees are mostly passive trees that are in several categories: strength, endurance, dexterity, spirituality, perception, and practicality. And they can be generic buffs and more specific buffs. For example, practicality increases everything based for your armor. You're more tanky, but also can make that 60% of your armor is also damage of your weapons, which is very cool thing. So more tanky you are, more hitting you will be. But also there are things like for 100, 200s, dexterity, so movement, attack speed, parry. There's a lot of options. As you can see, on level 60, I was not able to do even half of the trees in the game because you need to go into the specific lines, because you cannot be jack of all trades. It's not like Skyrim that you can do a character that is good at everything, which is fine. In my opinion, it is fine. Later on with the story, you're also able to unlock a slowing time ability that you can later on upgrade, making that it's dealing more damage or explodes when you activate, and so on and so on. Very cool stuff. In terms of managing inventory, you have the weight capacity, you have different weapons. Weapons have perks, you can add gems to the weapons. There is a crafting in the game, but being honest, crafting is quite underperforming in terms of crafting items. Crafting potions or food for you is way better. By the way, we are right now in the second region of the whole game. This is the best region, in my opinion. It's called Kuach, something like that. Kuanacht. And the map is quite big. There's a lot of quests. There are hubs. There are places where you can go and talk with the NPCs and get quests from them, of course. So this is like a basic of the game, let's call it, yes? But there is also magic, there is archery, and there are other stuff that you can do in this game. And when speaking about the things that you can do other in this game, I think where we can slowly move to the good positives and negatives about this game, and is it a game for you? Right now I changed my save to the second character that I was doing. It is a mage-based character, so I'm casting a spells. I can summon skeletons that will be fighting with me. As you can see, I can consume them. Magic overall, I would say, is a bit better than melee combat, because melee combat is based on stamina mostly. That goes down very fast. As you can see, 3 swings and I have no stamina at all. And this doesn't change much, even with highly advanced characters that has high levels, a lot of stamina. You're still getting stamina down very fast, so it's all about the dodges. Parrying, maybe I didn't find parrying to be good enough to use it, being honest. The dodges are so strong that you can dodge everything out of the way in this game. And overall, if I would go to like fully positives and fully negatives about the game, the first thing that is in mind is that the world of the game is very good. The game has 3 acts, 3 different regions. This is the first region of the game, as you can see. We also have the second, the Kuanan, the second one that is the best, and also the third region that I don't want to spoil, and I will be getting to it in a bit, talking about it without spoilers, of course. Other stuff that I said, story is very good. The story of the game is actually the thing that I would say has the biggest praise for me. the side quests can be very funny, can be very good. There is a small downside here. I would say that some of the quests, some of the parts of the game, in terms of where you're talking to NPC, can be very long in a way to be boring even. Like Witcher 3 did something amazing that is not used so many times in the game, sadly, is the fact that it made that if the game dialogues had a lot of information that you can get from NPC, you were always having like yellow options that progresses the dialogue. This is also here, but it's not always here in some of the quests, and sometimes you need to go through several explanation of something that you already understand to go through the quest, but it's like a small downside. Other stuff is that the progression of the characters is simple, but it's like Oblivion satisfactory level, I would say. So I really like it. It's fulfilling, it's satisfying that it's happening. So yet again, something that I really encourage for you to check it out by yourself, because it's just cool how everything works in this game in terms of combat and the progression. And speaking about the combat, you see I'm playing a mage right now and everything is entirely different. By the way, there are horses in this game. You can also use a sketchbook and just do a picture of what you're seeing in a live footage, which is a very cool thing. You can also have a spyglass that when you use, you can see some things from far away. Those are the small stuff, yes? As I said, there is a lot of quests also moving from combat, which is great. A lot of quests, some of them are very cool, some of them are very funny, very creative. And there are a lot of small things in the game. The small things meaning, like this drawing that I saw you, spyglass, you can go on a fishing, you can have a small village that you can build, you can buy houses, a lot of things that are normally in Bethesda games like Oblivion or Skyrim. But it also moves to the fact, to the negatives about this game, to the fact that many things in this game doesn't fit or is very unpolished, but not in a way that they didn't have the budget, because it's a small game still. As I said, it's between indie and double A game. The problem is that many systems just doesn't fit. You can buy houses, but there is no use for the houses, really. It's not that you get something special from them, like in Skyrim, that you had a hub or crafting stations there. It is not working like that. You have whole quest lines, whole guilds. There are 3 guilds in the game that you can go with and make quests for them, but they don't have a hub. They're just from one quest to another, to another, to another. You go from one NPC to the another. There's no feeling of this world, like they have this place where you can buy stuff from them and you feel that like you are part of the guild, which is just a shame, because the game itself as an idea, I said it's very good. Other small stuff, you can have a pet. Even you can have a farm, and none of these things is worth the effort, if you know what I mean, because many of those things are just too expensive to have a meaning, being honest, which is, again, as I said, a big shame. Other stuff we're calling about negatives, that is a big negative. The game is very buggy. The game can be very buggy. We are talking about peasant space program. We have things like Act 3, the one that they want to show or spoil. Act 3, until I went to Act 3 in this game, I thought that this game is 8, 10, if I would need to rank it. Maybe not 10, 9, let's say, for what it's offering, for the price, and so on. But Act 3, damn it, it's a mess. Act 3 of this game is actually a mess. It's very bad. Its story even bits of Act 3 are very, very underperforming, especially if you compare them to the Act 2 and Act 1 even. many things do not work there. A lot of quests did not work there. I played the game just on the release because I got it from the developers, as I said. There were some patches already since then, but when I played it on the release, I would say maybe 25% of the quests did not work for me because I did all the quests. My first playthrough, I did 90% of the game, I would say, because this 10% of the game was so bugged. I was not able to finish them. Sometimes enemies T-post. As you can see some of the clips right now, you can stack in stuff. Enemies can stack. The ragdolls can go crazy. Of course, the game is very low budget for what it's offering and what it's trying to do, so I won't judge it. But this is the thing that you need to be prepared for it. I saw a good someone comparing this game to Avalon recently, the game that I really liked, and I would have a hard time trying to say which game I like more right now. Tainted Grail or Avalon. Avalon was way more plain and simple game of what it was trying to do, but it was working all the time, if you know what I mean. And this game, it's straight up does not work in many cases, and we just found something really cool. And this is exploration in this game that is quite fantastic because we just found some whiskey. This is the thing that I said in positive. The world is very cool in terms of how you find stuff in it and so on. So, Tainted Grail, Fall of Avalon is a great game, is a great idea of a game, but it needs some more polish if you don't like your game to bug out, which is happening quite often here, especially in Act 3. I would say that Act 3 was so damn buggy to the point that I really felt sorry that I have to say it, that the things were just not working. You can hear that I'm so confused because I like it. I really like this game. By the way, this major build is crazy. I'm playing on veteran. This is like the second to last difficulty option because the game, if you know what are you doing in this game, it is very easy. Yeah, that's hilarious. What can happen in this game? But overall, yes. As my conclusion to this game, I'm highly recommending it. Highly recommended, but with some notes. Let's call it. Remember that this game is not a AAA game. It is junky. Some things may not work. Some things may break. The music can cut off in some cutscenes. The subtitles cannot appear. Some things are not translated if you are playing in your language. Voiceovers sometimes cut also, and I had a whole quest without it. I had a quest that I was not able to finish. Gladly, none of the main quest was broken, so that's a positive. But there are a lot of things that can happen like that. But overall, as a premise, as idea of the game, it's great. As for the length of the game, my first playthrough took me 28 hours to finish. As I said, 90% of the game, I did all the endings, did all the secrets, that call it, because you are able to do all the endings in one playthrough. You just need to load the ending, so it's okay, it's fine. As I said, I really like the story, I like the idea, and I'm really curious what creators of the game will be doing next. They said that they want to have a support for the mods. I would be very happy to see that, and I'm curious where King Arthur and the story of Avalon is going next, because as I said, I really like this game, and I really encourage you to check it out because it's not expensive as AAA games today, and we should support devs like that because it's just a very good game. So tell me please, what do you think about the Fall of Avalon, Tainted Grail? As I said, repeat it again, this is a very good game. I recommend it, and I was Venris, and I'm out. Remember to like, subscribe the video, leave a comment, and tell me your opinion about Tainted Grail, Fall of Avalon, if you play it or not, or if you are a heretic and don't want to worship King Arthur. Bye!